Welcome to another On Ice Tips and Techniques. One of the questions I often get asked about many of my videos is, what lure is that I'm using? And the other question I get asked is, how do I use it? For the last 4 years, one of the most versatile lures I've used is a Seville Vibrato. This has been an incredible bait to call fish in or to trigger a feeding, curiosity, or reaction bite. It has become my most effective, versatile, multi-species bait through the ice. Many anglers think that match the hatch is simply a matter of profile and color. That's not true. Maybe more important is action and reactive movements. Even in dark or murky water, the horizontal strobe sends out a signal. This emulates a dying bait fish or a fish in trouble. If I'm fishing a large, expansive, flat, and clear water, I start by clawing up the bottom and creating a sediment bloom. This will attract fish from a long way off. The action should barely show up on your sonar. Once you've created the cloud, slowly lift the lure up 1 to 2 feet and let it sit at the top of the cloud. If you've called fish in, this is when they will normally hit. Most anglers overwork baits. Remember, you jig for attention, but pause to get bit. Sometimes a subtle move during the pause triggers the reaction. Running a tandem or drop shot rig, particularly on tough days, can certainly be a very effective option. The high rubber bait power minnow is hooked wacky on my rigs. The Vibrato is both the weight and bottom bait. Remember, it's the pause that triggers the bite. It's a very fine line between getting attention and intimidating fish. So today, all I'm doing is employing a yo-yo routine with a very slow move off the bottom, raising it up about 15 feet off the bottom, holding it, and then just letting it flutter down. And that'll get a lot of attention without spooking fish away. Typically, you would think of a yo-yo pattern for swim baits or tubes, but the strobe up and flutter down pattern of a vibrato could replace a swim bait or lipless crank during slower periods, reducing the number of lures that you have to bring with you. Learning how to use fewer baits really well for more techniques is far more productive than trying to use a lot of baits that you never learn to use properly. With so many baits, and so many that have proven track records, it's difficult to choose just 3 or 4 baits that are versatile enough to carry across multiple techniques. Add to this seasonal aggression patterns and depths, it even becomes more complicated. So if you really want to reduce the amount of tackle you're hauling around, you might want to choose an anchor bait, one that'll work through variable techniques at different parts of the season. Whatever bait you choose to be your anchor bait, that's the bait you want to be most proficient in. You may choose to have several of those in different weights and colors for various depths and species. Then choose 2 or 3 complementary baits. This will allow you to cover a lot of techniques and species. So for better results on the ice, choose your anchor baits and learn how to use them.